Hello, this is Michael Owens with Here Come the Irish, and you're watching the Two Irish Brothers Show. Go Irish.
How's it going, everyone? I am Desean 45.
And I'm Irish Benjamin 57. How are you?
Well, together, the two of us make up the Two Irish Brothers podcast. And now, listen, before any of you guys do anything, you see that little subscribe tab in the corner, wherever it is, whichever corner, click it. Click that subscribe tab. You know you want to. Click it, and you'll get updates from Ben and I all the time. And do not forget to hit that bell, that little bell icon, so that way you will never miss any video or any kind of content that me and Ben come up with. So, Ben, how are you doing this morning on this?
I am doing
this beautiful Saturday morning.
Absolutely fantastic, because we have football, and not preseason football that doesn't count for anything. We have actual football. You know, and I get that last week was week 0. You know, we had a couple decent matchups, you know, Nebraska and Illinois and all that. But this week, the big boys come out, the real big boys. You know, yes. Alabama versus Miami today, Clemson versus Georgia, Penn State versus Wisconsin. Ohio State already played this week. You know, that was a dandy of a game if you didn't catch it. So, yeah, you know, and there's a little bit of crisp air in our neck of the woods. You know, I don't know how it is up a little further up north where you are, Sean, in Illinois, but here it's starting to be a little bit like fall weather here. So,
I got to tell you, I was at I went to Geneseo's game last night. Their matchup against Sandwich. Yes, people, there is a town here in Illinois called Sandwich. Believe it or not, the Sandwich Indians. We took care of business 58-7. And speaking of Geneseo, thank you to all of you who gave my hometown series video a shot. And Ben, hopefully we see something from you one of these days about your.
Most of the time I'm working, unfortunately, because the game's going on when I'm working. So, but maybe if I work some overtime and I'm working the game, maybe I can get some footage. But
well, not where you are now, where you grew up.
Oh, where I grew up? Oh, that'd be even harder to get. Oh, my goodness.
Well, it'll happen one of these days, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, sure. But yeah, no, it's nice. I mean, it's exciting. You know, College Game Day was, you know, getting notifications from them this morning and putting them on the TV and all that. So, yeah, it's exciting, you know, and the only unfortunate thing is us Notre Dame fans got to wait a whole nother day till Notre Dame plays Florida State. But I will take college football in general.
Well, the important thing is it's here, it's back. And what I was going to finish saying is last night when I was at the Geneseo game, I felt that crispness in the air too. Fall is here, baby. Yeah. Football is here. I love it. I can't wait to see us in action. I can't wait to see the games today. I'm pumped up, man. I know you are. But before we get to any kind of business talking about our game here against Florida State, here is a word from our sponsor.
I don't look for trouble. I don't wear rubber watches. And I don't say I do when I don't. So I don't do this for fast food places that don't do steak.
New steak fajitas. Real steak, real fast.
But I do appreciate them asking. No, I don't.
Taco Bell. The only real choice.
Hello, Taco Bell.
The punky QB, Jim McMahon. You know, it's pretty ironic too, Ben. I actually went on a late night Taco Bell run last night, and it was glorious.
Yeah,
it's always been a Friday tradition of mine. Go hit up Taco Bell.
There you go.
But anyway, it's that time. It's been many, many months since we last did one, but let's get to our preview, Ben, of week 1 against the Florida State Seminoles.
Yep.
Now last season, we played them during the craziness of the COVID year. Yep. We took care of business when the Seminoles came to South Bend. What's something that you see, Ben, right out of the gate in this one that could make a difference from the start?
For Florida State or for us?
Either. Take your pick.
For Florida State, they are going to be led by two transfers. They're going to be led by Mackenzie Milton, who comes over from UCF as a senior. So it's kind of the same storyline as Notre Dame's. We have Jack Cohen on our side that's a senior transferring from Wisconsin. And they have Mackenzie Milton, who transferred from UCF. And we haven't seen anything from him yet. I mean, this is his first legit game and in a Florida State uniform. But then on the other side of it, with his partner in crime is Desean Corbin, just Sean Corbin, not Desean, just Sean Corbin, who transferred to Florida State from the University of Texas A&M. Now, Desean Corbin was the leading rusher for the Florida State Seminoles last year. So, I mean, he has a grasp on this playbook. He's been in a Florida State uniform. We know what we're getting from him. So him and Mackenzie Milton are going to make a big difference with this Florida State offense than what Notre Dame saw last year, in my opinion.
Now, has Florida State, and as far everywhere that I've read, they haven't said anything yet, but have they officially announced that Mackenzie Milton is going to be the starting quarterback on Sunday night? Because I've heard that there's a chance that their other quarterback, Jordan Travis, could be the starter as well. But there's speculation that they might go with Milton just because Travis only completed 55% of his passes last year, 6 interceptions from what I'm reading here, sacked 12 times. But it sounds like he could get a lot going on the ground. So I don't know. Have you heard about anything about who the official FSU starting quarterback is going to be? Because I haven't.
No, I have not heard anything. I checked this morning. There still wasn't any word on who's the official starting quarterback. But to me, it's Mackenzie Milton. I mean, he broke the freshman record for passing at UCF when he was there as a freshman. Until he got injured, he was just firing on all cylinders with the Golden Knights. Or the Black Knights, sorry. So, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's Mackenzie Milton. I mean, if they go with the dual threat quarterback instead of Milton, then it is what it is. But if I'm Notre Dame, I'm prepping for Milton.
Are you sure it's not the Golden Knights? Because I know the Black Knights is Army.
Maybe it is the Golden Knights. There's too many Knights these days.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure it is the UCF Golden Knights, because Army is the Black Knights, and well, you look at UCF's logo, it's a Golden Knight. So, but yeah, I would bank on Mackenzie Milton too, because before he got hurt, he was, like you said, he was on fire, and I hope it is Milton, because remember, he called us out.
Yes,
you remember that he called us out because
he did.
They felt they should have been in the playoff that year, that we didn't deserve it. So I hope it's him, so our defense can smack him around a little bit. And I think as I said in our season preview, I think that's going to be a big difference too in this game, is our defense against their offensive line. Because even though we've lost, we've had a key loss in linebacker Marist. How do you say his last name? Leofau.
Yeah,
Leofau. I'm bad with names. I mean, I'm sorry. Some of these Samoan guys, these Hawaiians, their last names, for me anyway, are hard to pronounce sometimes.
Yeah.
Like DJ Uyunglele from Clemson. I had a hell of a time trying to pronounce his name at first. But I think that's going to be a key battle, is our defense against their offensive line, because even though we lost Marist, there's still a lot of depth and talent behind him. You have guys like Shane Simon, Jack Kaiser, these guys who are very seasoned, very experienced. They can step right in, and it'll be like, now look, Marist was due to have a breakout year, but knowing that you have guys that can cover his slack, we're going to be all over the place. Marcus Freeman is going to have this defense ready to go, and I think it's going to show. And as far as the offensive side of things go, I mean, we have, in my opinion, and I'm trying not to be a homer as I say this, but we have one of the best two-headed running back duos in the country, in Kyron Williams and Chris Tyree. I expect them to have a breakout season as well, both of them, which, well, Kyron did last year. I'm talking more about Tyree for that.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to explode on everybody. And even though our receiving core took a step backwards last year, we have a very talented group of receivers that can get things done. We'll finally get to see Kevin Austin Jr. in action. Braden Lindsey returns. Joe Wilkins. I'm hopefully we get to see this kid on the field, but I'm really excited to see Desean Corbin get some playing time, because I've heard a lot of good things about him. And of course, you can't forget about the silent killer, is what I call him anyway, Avery Davis, who came up big for us last year. I expect more of the same out of him. And then of course our tight end group led by Michael Mayer, or as Little Gronk as he's known as. And he got off to a great start in his freshman campaign, and I think the sky's the limit for him this year. So I think Jack Cohn, even though he's a grad transfer, and Brian Kelly could have easily gone with somebody like Drew Pine, who has been here for a year. He knows the playbook. Jack Cohn, nothing against Drew Pine, but you're usually going to go with experience, and it makes sense. So Jack Cohn, I think things might be a little rusty to start the game. I anticipate that, but I think once Jack Cohn and the rest of this offense find their groove, you're going to see some really good things out of that offense.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Notre Dame's offense, I don't think has taken a step back. Everybody in the media is saying, "Oh, well, what are we going to see from Notre Dame's offense, and how are they going to be able to handle this? And can the offense be as productive as they were?" I think, in all honesty, Sean, I think we take a step forward with the offense.
I agree.
Nothing against Ian Book, but he didn't have that cannon of an arm, and I see that cannon with Jack Cohn. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, kind of the couple of the videos that we saw out of fall ball, that he throws it just a little bit further for Braden Lindsey, because a couple of them were a little bit underthrown. I mean, Lindsey had the guy beat, and if it had been just a few feet further, it would have been a nice little untouched goodbye, see ya.
Oh, Jack Cohn, he's very capable of hitting guys. He's very capable of hitting guys on the run or in stride with the long ball. Right. I mean, you look at his highlights from Wisconsin. He was able to do that there. But he can also move on his feet as well, because there's people worried about his mobility, and I think he's going to be fine. You just got to because once you get that first game under your belt, that's when you can really shake out the rust and progress moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, but on the flip side, I think Florida State's offense is taking a step forward this year too. So it's going to be an interesting game come Sunday evening. I mean, it's going to be a game where I think that Florida State's not going to get enough credit for where they're at, just because the last couple seasons they've had down years.
Mm-hmm.
But talent-wise, I mean, Florida State's been in the top 10 and top 15 last few years for recruiting class. So, I mean, they're not bringing in talent. They're bringing in a bunch of talent. So it's time for them to put it all together, and I think this year could be the year. So Florida State's a dangerous opponent right off the bat. It's going to be a special night tomorrow night with the tribute to Bobby Bowden that they're going to do. That's coming.
I think that's great too. I mean,
yeah, and we've already seen small glimpses. They got a couple things in the stadium honoring Bobby Bowden, which justifiably so. So I think those guys are there's gonna be some emotions in the air come tomorrow night. So
yes,
and that's when you got to be worried, because I mean, look what happened with Purdue and Ohio State a few years ago. The feeling was right for Purdue, and Purdue upset Ohio State big time. So it's in hostile territory. It's at Doak Campbell. Doak Campbell's a crazy place. We're back to normal. I've been watching these smaller games and stuff, and the stadiums are packed. I can only imagine what Doak Campbell will be like tomorrow night, with everybody getting able to come back to games and stuff. So it's going to be crazy. And Notre Dame has to be ready for this very underrated Florida State offense.
Yeah. And, Coach Norville, as you said, he's putting all the pieces in place. He's improving this team. And I think they are definitely improved, no doubt about it. But I still don't think that they're quite there yet to start making championship runs. But we, in my opinion, we are definitely the stronger team in this matchup.
Yes, but they are going to be very competitive.
Yes, as I've said numerous times, going back to when I was doing my own thing on here, you never, ever underestimate any opponent that you play. It doesn't matter if it's if it's a team from the Sun Belt. You never underestimate them. Never. Because that's the last thing you want to do, because if you underestimate any opponent, that's when you screw yourself. You end up losing a game that you shouldn't have lost. So you gotta play every game like you're playing the number one team in the country.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep.
So with that said, Ben, the fun part of every preview that we do, score predictions. Now, I know we gave this in our season preview. Has anything changed for you?
I don't think so. Now I got to remember what I predicted in that preview video.
Okay.
I should have written all that down. That's what I should have done. But
it's okay. Well, that's the thing. Things can change, in a matter of weeks. Opinions can change and all that stuff.
Just my opinion with the Notre Dame offense, he's taking a step forward, is just going to be too much for Florida State, in my opinion. So,
well, I'll tell you one thing. With a lot of articles that I've been reading, and the prediction type articles, everybody has Notre Dame winning this game, except the only person that I saw picking Florida State was some moron on, as we've come to call it, BSPN. Everybody has Notre Dame winning this game, but the scores that I'm seeing like, 35-21, 38-24 in that area. So that's the thing. What we were talking about earlier is I don't think people are giving Notre Dame enough credit for what they still have. All they can focus on is the players that we've lost to the NFL or undrafted free agents, whatever you want to call it. Because we lost a lot from our offensive line. We lost a lot of key defensive players, but people forget that we're at a stage where we can reload now with the talent. Guys can come in and step in and be that next playmaker. So with that said, I'm sticking by my original score prediction. I'm sticking with Notre Dame 35, Florida State 14.
I dig it. I totally dig it. I mean, obviously, I have Notre Dame winning this game. Notre Dame is the better team of Florida State and Notre Dame in this matchup. And I think that it could be 42-14, in my opinion. So, that offense is good for Florida State, but I think Notre Dame's just on a different level. It's nothing against Florida State, like you said, or a few minutes ago. They're not quite there yet at the championship runs. Notre Dame has multiple playoff appearances, and people can say what they want about that. But and Florida State does too. Florida State has one playoff appearance, so I got to give credit where credit is due. But Florida State's not the program that they were when they played Oregon in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I hope they get back to that. I love these quote unquote blue blood programs being good and successful. But Florida State's not on Notre Dame's level. So Notre Dame wins 42-14, my final score prediction.
Awesome. And what, we're going to be called Homer after these score predictions, but we're fair people. I mean, and whatever happens on the field happens, and we'll and if we turn out to be wrong, then we'll admit that we're wrong. We always have.
Yep.
So,
oh yeah.
But right now, that's just how I see it. That's how Ben sees it. And there you guys have it for our first game preview of 2020. I'm sorry, 2021.
2021.
And, I was all ready to say 2020. Ugh.
That's behind us.
No, don't want to go back to that.
That's old news.
So our first game preview of 2021 is in the books. Ben, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just as Sean said in the beginning of the video, please, 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 please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon. If you haven't liked this video, smash that like button down below. And we very much appreciate you doing that for us.
And we've been on, I'm not trying to brag or anything, not that we have much to brag about yet, but we've been on kind of a tear in the last couple of weeks with, the new videos we've come out with. I mean, we've had, I wouldn't say a flood, but quite a number of new subscribers. We would love you guys to be a part of that. And we always try to give you guys the best show that we possibly can. So give us some love, hit that subscribe tab, people. So on that note, I don't have much else to say. Other than thank you guys for always sticking with us. And on that note, I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And as always, God bless. In this case, good morning. And as always, baby, go Irish and happy Labor Day weekend to all of you.
Go Irish. Beat Florida State.